Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer kicking off an all-stakes late pick 4 at Aqueduct on Friday with the Gio Ponti Stakes, race number 7. You can bet that all-stakes pick 4. You can bet the whole Big A card on Friday with a new DRF Bets account. Head on over to bets.drf.com, sign up, receive a 300% deposit match. Here is the field for the Gio Ponti. We've got 3-year-olds going a mile and a 16th on the outer turf course. $150,000 is the purse. Mike, the number 6, breaking the rules, has figured it out on turf, has figured it out with blinkers for Shug McGahee. I thought he got a great trip in his most recent race, but when he was produced by IRAD, that was a really startling turn of foot. He settled it in a matter of strides.
Yeah, really, really good in that last race. You're right, it was a perfect trip for him, but he also really ran in his turf debut 2 starts back. That was sort of an odd trip for him because there was a loose horse in that race, and he got sort of stuck behind that horse. I think IRAD, just trying to avoid that loose horse in the race, went very wide in that race. He actually ran deceptively well in there and obviously backed it up in a big way last time. This horse had a lot of potential on dirt. It didn't really pan out. He's clearly a better turf horse. It just feels like he's in a spot here, Dan, where if he runs that last race, and he's probably going to win.
He also likes a lot of give in the ground, and that might not be the case for a horse that's arguably his main competition, the number 7 Therapist. Now, I know Therapist went over good going 2 starts back, but he had to fall down to lose that 3-horse field against New York breds. Last time out on the Saranac, I just don't think that trip really worked out for him. He was kind of 3-4 path throughout, and he never really threatened those graded stakes types. And the 4th place horse is a pretty nice runner. He's come back to win 2 stakes in a row at Churchill Downs with stereo 89 buyer speed figures. If the ground isn't too soft, I think Therapist, a horse that, may be kind of exposed. I have a feeling he's not going to improve much off his recent races, but I think he's going to run his best shot.
I think I have the same feeling about him. He's obviously got some talent. I wonder how much improvement he still has in him. And I hear what you're saying about the Saranac last time. I mean, he was wide pretty much every step of the way in there. The mile and 1/8 might also be a little far for him, so I'm willing to give him some excuses. I just wanted to see him he didn't make any kind of run in that race, which didn't do a lot for me. He should get firmer ground, as you sort of alluded to. He kind of likes that. The weather hasn't cooperated with us here in New York, but there's not that much rain in the forecast this week, so maybe he gets some firmer ground and he shows up with his best.
There really doesn't appear to be a lot of pace in this race at all. We checked the Timeform US pace projector. No surprise that we see a blue bar. Timeform US expects this race to favor horses on or near the early lead. That being said, I'm not sure if Rose's Vision, the 8's going to end up on the lead. This horse has never been on the lead in the first call in any of his lifetime starts, but at least he's coming into this race in good form. He just took down Have At It, who came back to win the Hill Prince, beating Prioritize, who we'll get to in a minute.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I feel like I'd picture him on the lead either, but either way, he's going to be forward in this race, and that's a good thing. He got a perfect trip when he won the Better Talk Now last time. That was a great ride by Jose Ortiz, but he also ran well in that race. He's now won, 3 of his last 4 on the turf. He's obviously in good form. He'll get a good trip in this race. I think he's a contender here.
Do you think the 9 Mr. Ritz might take up the early running under Jose Ortiz, a pace-pressing winner on turf, 2 starts back at Indiana Grand, and last time out at Woodbine, they took him off the pace. I think they might have been a little bit concerned about the mile and 1/8 for this horse, and he was also chasing a really slow pace. I think all things considered, that was a sneaky good effort. If he could run back to that 90 buyer 2 starts back for the shrewd Josie Carroll, I think this horse has some price potential.
I kind of do too, and I feel like he might be the one you find on the lead in this race. We'll see how Jose wants to play it in this race. His 2 turf wins back-to-back in August and September. Just really good trips in both of those races, Dan. Took up that perfect stalking position and then took over in the stretch. I thought he ran well both times. I also feel like he's probably facing a better field this time. I could go either way on him. If he's around that 6-1, I think he's actually a pretty fair price.
Here's a rare Chad Brown runner that's going to go off at a decent price on the tote. The number 3 Medal of Honor is 8-1 on the line. And let's be honest, this horse really didn't tackle tough competition at all in Europe. Although his most recent start, a handicap featuring 21 runners, has produced 3 next out winners. And the winner of that race came back to finish 2nd in a Group 2. That being said, I'm not sure how good Medal of Honor is.
Yeah, me either. I mean, I don't know what you're going to get from this horse. Certainly his form over in Ireland is nothing to get that excited about. He just hasn't won that many races. He's 2 for 15 over there, and it's not like he was, facing top competition. We'll see. I hear what you're saying that, it's rare that you get a Chad Brown horse at any kind of a good price, but it almost feels like just because Chad's taking over, this horse won't be as big a price as he should be.
That's actually a really good point. You could make the argument that just off his past performance lines alone, if it was trained by anyone else, the horse would be double digits. Prioritize the number 1. Ran okay last time out in the Hill Prince, and I think this lightly raced horse has some upside. He was behind Have At It, who came back to run second in the Twilight Derby at Santa Anita with a 91 buyer. That being said, this horse's running style might really work against him in this race.
Yeah, there's not a lot of pace to set him up, so he's going to have to work something out. I do like that he's sort of going forward with every start. I think he's got a little bit of talent, this horse. Worth pointing out that the Hill Prince, at a time where, once again, Belmont, on those turf courses, you wanted to be inside, he just rode the inside the entire way. Still ran pretty well in there, but he got a great trip in that race.
Zap Daddy completes the field. This horse won a $50,000 claimer and was haltered by Pat Reynolds. He's going to have to probably run a lifetime best as he hikes all the way up in class.
Yeah, Pat Reynolds and Robert Amendola, the owner, doing great work together off the claim, winning a lot of races off the claim, but they'll have to really improve this horse.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Gio Ponti Stakes, the first leg of the All Stakes Late Pick 4 at Aqueduct on Friday. You're going with Breaking the Rules, and I've got to admit, this horse has enough tactical speed to stay close to the pace. I think he can work out another good trip as he did last time out. And boy, the way he finished that race off, he looked like a stakes horse that day.
Yeah, I was pretty taken by his turf win last time. I'm going to stick with this horse. I know he's a short price here. I think he's found a really good spot, though.
Would you key him in the pick, or would you use anybody else?
I'm going to key him. I think the only other two horses I'll use are the 2 outside horses, the Canadian Shippers, the 8 and the 9.
Yeah, the 9 might be value in this race because of the tactical speed, and turning back in distance should help. I just thought Therapist didn't really have a fair go of it last time out in the Saranac. Wide trip against a tough field. He gets a little bit of class relief perhaps in here, and it's up to David Cohen to get this horse closer to the pace. I think he can do it. He's 3-1 on the morning line. I hope that maybe Breaking the Rules goes down a little bit and Therapist goes up. But I'll go with Therapist, my top selection, over Breaking the Rules in the Gio Ponti Stakes, race number 7. Bet this race, bet this card with a DRF Bets account and the 300% deposit match that goes along with it. Find out more at bets.drf.com. An approximate post time for the Gio Ponti, 2:50 Eastern. Best of luck.